So we all know how bad of a state the GTA Definitive Edition is in. Bugs galore, terrible rain effects, poor performance, technical issues, shockingly dodgy character models. It's in a really poor state. I don't need to make a video about that because it's well covered online. But today though, I want to cover something different and an issue I specifically have with San Andreas. The trilogy may get patched and fix all the issues I mentioned at the beginning, but there's a problem that I'm not sure they will fix. Atmosphere. The direct feel and atmosphere of the environments are different. I mentioned in my Why the PS2 San Andreas is the best open world video, and how the extra efforts and artistic techniques used to make every city and countryside feel distinctively different, which is something you don't find a lot of the time in today's games. Well, now that's all gone. Fog or smog created a feeling that everywhere was far away, making the world feel big. Every place had its own unique skybox and fog. Every place had a coloured tint. Every place had its own climate. So for example, San Fierro and the connecting countryside was often rainy, had a blue tint and made the whole place feel cold. Los Santos had an orange tint and it had long periods in the day where the sky was orange. There was a heat wave technique as well to make the place feel hot. And that's what it was. Los Santos and Las Venturas felt hot and San Fierro felt wet and cold just from the artistic touches they made. When San Andreas Definitive Edition, that's all gone. No smog, no individual climates. Essentially every location feels the same now. Taking away the fog and putting no limit to the draw distance looks terrible, especially when flying, and we've all seen that. But it also destroys the original feel of the game even when driving in certain places. The draw distance works pretty well on the ground level in a city, especially Los Santos, but once you're in the countryside, the effect takes away the charm. Just look at Bone County. It used to feel like the middle of nowhere. Now it feels like everything is next door. Now just look at the lack of difference in climate in the Definitive Edition compared to the original. So as you can see there, in the original, in the countryside, like in Whetstone, Angel Pine, and then in San Fierro, you can see how it's you know, the weather's changing. You know, it often rains, it's often foggy. You know, you have periods of sun. In the original, it's just always sunny, and basically it's the same weather system as Los Santos. So you see here in Los Santos in the original, it's typically mostly always sunny, doesn't rain that much. There's even heat waves. And in the definitive edition, it's always typically sunny. So it's almost like they've built the entire climate and weather system just off Los Santos in the definitive edition and haven't bothered changing it for other areas.
I really need something to get me through my shift.
Out of my way. I'm a rusty brown donut eating gangster.
So I don't think it's helped by the fact that the weather effects are really poor and underwhelming in terms of the definitive edition, and it's actually hard to tell when the weather's actually that different. It doesn't look different, the mood doesn't change. So you can see here. So what I'm going to do is on the original and the definitive edition, it starts off sunny, then I do a cheat to make it overcast, and then I do a cheat to make it stormy. And look at the difference. You can tell the distinctive difference in the original. You can see how each weather is drastically different, and then in the definitive edition it kind of just looks the same but with a few clouds. And then obviously the rain, it's like raining but the sky is a bit darker, but it's not. There's breaks in the clouds, and you know the actual skybox hasn't changed. I'm really hoping that the devs do see this and decide to implement unique weather systems, skyboxes and art techniques to make each place feel like the original.